John 42 said out loud in Midnight's Edge chat that, and trust me, we get right to the point here, that Mark Hamill's been very quiet lately. Now, I haven't seen anything on Insta. I don't know about Twitter. But if that's the case, I gotta say that there's something definitely eerie going on. And I'm gonna say it straight out loud. It has everything to do with what's going on with Lucasfilm and Star Wars. That's my opinion. Now, for all I know, he could be sick, but he seems like a pretty healthy dude. So, you know, I mean, we really don't. We only hear what we can hear. Doomcock again hasn't uploaded a video. I wish he would do one every day. It would make it a lot easier for the rest of us to kind of, you know, zero in on some of the stuff. And of course, other people aren't up. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it when you're holding stuff back. If you got to do 3 videos in a row, then do 3 videos in a row. We'll all sit down and watch them. Then we can make up our own minds. But that's neither here nor there. But I am really fascinated. I know it is, and that's fantastic. I mean, this is such a fail. The High Republic and Kennedy herself have been such unbelievable failures. The idea that anybody would listen to her, you know, and I'm going to say, again, I'm going to say it. I said this on Midnight's Edge in the chat and sent a super chat that Kennedy orchestrated all this. These attacks on Gina were orchestrated by her. You know, they were orchestrated inside Lucasfilm, her, and then it went out. As far as I'm concerned, the person I named in my previous live is the person who orchestrated it for them on the outside, because he's done it before. They have done it before. They have done it before. And I really think that the connection between him and Lucasfilm, despite him going, they don't talk to me anymore. Ugh. Then why are, you know, I think when the object that you're fanboying over says, I'm done with you, you kind of got to go away. Okay? Does that make any sense? Yeah. Why, why our friend has not done that, I don't know. And it should make everybody go. And the reason simply is this. He hasn't gone. Whatever people like that say, something to the contrary, you know they're lying. Okay, and again, she was following, there was a Kathy M. Kennedy Twitter account, if it's still there. You guys shall check it out if you're on Twitter. That was following Jason Ward. Ward was following it. Frank Marshall was following the Kennedy account. Then I think the Kennedy account stopped following Ward, but I know for a fact, Marshall stopped following the Kennedy account. And I think the reason why is because he realized he was giving too much attention to it. Kind of too late. Because I know if people think it's her, that it's going to be bombarded, which is good. It should be. I mean, you know, it's very interesting to me how this is all coming out. And more is going to come out, but the fact that Mark Hamill has been very quiet. I know, despite his lefty leanings, that he can't exactly be happy with what happened with Gina. I know I wouldn't be if I were him. This has gone too far, and now they're going after Rosario for. This is actually the reason. She had a cleaning lady. The The cleaning lady got caught stealing and got into a fight with her mother, with Rosario's mother, and whatever. It ended up being some sort of anti-trans kind of thing. We all know, ultimately, the target is Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and the good they've been doing for Star Wars. And it is, I don't care what anyone says, Rob, I think it was Rob, at Midnight's Edge was even saying this, Kennedy did say she would burn the silly nonsense to the ground. She did say that. All right, I have no doubt, okay, because it's happening. Okay, I am really, really, really horrified by this. I will never understand what she has to do to get fired from Disney, to get kicked out. I mean, the FBI could walk into Iger's office this afternoon. He's in California. It is 2:41 here, so it's 1:41 CST, 12:41 Mountain Time, 11:41 Pacific Time. Could walk in right now, right before lunch, and say, Mr. Iger, your employee, because she is an employee, not a colleague. She works for Disney. Okay. And Mr. Chapek, your president of Lucasfilm has been caught with whatever. I mean, think about the most heinous, or doing something. Then think about the absolutely most heinous thing you could think of. But is that what it would take? Really? You're losing billions of dollars for the investors, and there she is, fucking around with the only thing that makes getting Disney Plus worth it. Just the Luke Skywalker hallway scene is worth it. Okay. I am literally shocked that they haven't done anything. You can't slap her on the hand. You've got to get rid of her. She has to go. She has to sign an NDA. She will not have any more to do with Star Wars. And and you're right, Carl. You're right. This has got to be costing them billions. I mean, I don't want to get hyperbolic either, borrowing a term from Tom, but you know as well as I do, hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, have canceled Disney Plus over this, and they're not coming back. They're not. People have said that to me. I am not coming back. And, a gesture of good faith would be, we fired Kathleen, we're cleaning up Lucasfilm. We know we dropped the ball. We're sorry. Sincere apology, please. And it's time. We're going to get back to what Star Wars does best, which is Star Wars. Jon Favreau will be the head of Lucasfilm, or the creative director. Momita Sengupta and Michelle Rejwan are the production side. And we're not going to hire another president of Lucasfilm yet. Hey, John 42, I'm just talking about your Mark Hamill thing. I really find it interesting too. So let's see. Gina was fired, 2 weeks ago? A week ago. It's Wednesday? Okay. He has been quiet since it happened. They're messing around doing something with George Lucas's IMDb page. It came out in a couple of low rent, I'd say, low rent websites. There has been a story out there that, yes, he is working behind the scenes on Mandalorian with Favreau and Filoni. We know the story. Kennedy wanted to talk about the scripts. Iger or Chapek said, John and Dave are up in Marion County at the ranch, working on the scripts with George, looking at them with George, and she had a fit. I believe that story. I believe that fucking bitch had a fit. I also agree that she's a helicopter person. She doesn't pay attention until it's too late. For instance, the woman never watched dailies coming from, oh, he is? Okay. So dipshits, Mark, dipshit. If he's my brother, I tell him, will you please shut up? You please shut the fuck up. No one wants to hear this anymore. We're all bored of it. Okay? You know, you got what you wanted. Go sit and color. Okay, just do something. What was I gonna say? You know, she doesn't watch dailies. She doesn't pay attention to what's going on around her. But I think it's interesting to note that her idea of running a company kind of filtered down into the people that follow her. Pablo Hidalgo spends, or used to spend when his account was open, most of his time posting pictures of Transformers he drew and bitching about the fans and bullying fans and saying stupid shit. Okay? Matt Martin spends a lot of time on Twitter. Christine Hidalgo spends a lot of time on Twitter. You know, you've got Henry Gilroy spending way too much time. Hal Hickel, etc., blase, blase. Now, do you understand why they get to do that? Because the boss is never around. She could give a fuck about what they do. They're doing what she wants them to, which is same thing she's doing. Absolutely fucking nothing except for causing problems. All right? It's gone on too long. And, you know, you got Mark not saying anything about Star Wars at all. And I find he's either really upset that that basically all the goodwill is gone, and I can imagine he is, or there's something else happening. I do believe that there is going to be, I mean, it's what? Almost noon on the East Coast, on the West Coast. You know, they're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to do something drastic, and it's not fire Jon Favreau. It's not fire Rosario Dawson. It's not fire Bill Burr. It's not fire any of these people. It's looking at the problem, and the ultimate problem is Lucasfilm. Again, if you guys want to write to Bob Chapek and Bob Iger, the email addresses are robert.chapek, CHAPEK, at Disney.com, robert.a.iger, IGER, at Disney.com. Tell them. Be professional, be polite, but let them know how angry you are and let them know you know what's going on. And ask them, why aren't you guys doing something about this? Why is this garbage still going on? Those are the questions that need to be asked. Those are the tough, hard questions that everybody seems to be terrified to say or mention. And to them, all right, I'm not an investor anymore. I quit that shit. Happy to. But I want to know, why is this going on still? Why? Why is Kathleen Kennedy allowed to do whatever she wants still? Even to ruin and trash things she's supposedly not allowed to touch. Okay? The fact that Mark is quiet is interesting only in this case. It says a lot. All right? I'm sure he saw Carl Weathers getting smacked around when Carl Weathers inadvertently, on purpose, sent that tweet out to Gina and Pedro Pascal. 10 days. If anybody doesn't think there's something going on, because he talks about Star Wars constantly. Luke is the character that gave him what career he has. Okay? And he's not ashamed to admit that. We got a neither here nor there issue with George Lucas and IMDb. Mark silent about anything Star Wars for 10 days. Doesn't say a word. We've got I'll tell you something. If he agreed with what they did, he knows he'd get crucified too, by the way. So that might be the reason too. So we've got Pedro. I mean, I'm going to say this, you guys. Do not blame anybody that Gina's worked with on The Mandalorian for not saying anything. Bill Burr was on his podcast, and they talked about it, but he kept his mouth shut. He kept his mouth shut. Something is going on. Okay, okay. And the reason why I say this is I think they know that John is the target. I think that he and Gina probably already talked and probably talk a lot. I think Gina's got a lot of info that she's passing to him. I just think that there's going to be stuff coming out that is going to be beyond the beyond. Okay? And I think people being quiet is indicative of that too. And also, they don't want to get pummeled by the fake, by the Twitter bots. All right? You can sit there and scream about the little brats that live, on Instagram, and Twitter. I actually got into it. The thing that the Star Wars thing put up about hate, no hate, and all the rest of that shit. A TCM or a Golden Age of Hollywood thing did the same thing. And I'm like, look, I would expect a room full of adults to already know that. Why is this here? I got pummeled by 4 Karens and 5 little millennial bitches. And trust me, I said, you're talking about racism. Where is it? I want to see it. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? So I can identify it and say, okay, that's what you're talking about. They can't, because it doesn't exist. Only in their little imaginations. Then they try to gaslight you. It's like, how old are you, 20? Fuck off. Go join the Marine Corps. Leave me alone, okay? You little shit. These little motherfuckers, they come in, they act like they know everything. And it's like, first off, your parents should be kicked in the ass for raising such a piece of shit. Second of all, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. At all. At all. So why don't you do this for me? Go open a book that's above your reading level. Try to read it. Try to comprehend it. Or go take a walk in the fresh air without your goddamn phone. Okay? Do something to improve yourself. But don't post shit like that on a page where you've got, people that are older who, grew up in a time when there really was racism, and that was before my time. And it's literally, I saw it ending. I saw it ending. Back in the 90s and between 2000 and 2010 or 2008. Yeah, I said it, 2008, and you know why I said it. No one cared. No one cared in the 80s. People were starting to figure out that it was probably time to start taking care of themselves. Okay? And it's literally, they should, but they won't. They won't, Carl. They won't. Inverse, IGN, the rest of these show sites, these access media sites, are going to do what the PR people give them. And the PR people, for some reason, want to kiss the left's ass on both cheeks because they're terrified. It's like, why? You know, fire Kennedy, fire her. The little shits on Twitter and their bots will sit and sulk and cry and bitch, and they'll go off and find something else. Okay, there's absolutely no fucking reason in the world to keep her around. Force her out, make her resign, do something, whatever. Have Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz pour a glass of water on her so she'll melt. I don't care. It is beyond time. I cannot, I still, I always get back to this. How the hell does this happen at Disney? And the fact that there aren't any articles right now, there are YouTubers that are not Fandom Menace talking about how pissed the fans are and talking about all this. Ben Shapiro's not Fandom Menace. This will come out. I don't like Fox News. I don't like what they did to the president. I don't believe in censoring or bias when it comes to the news. And yet, they'll be the ones to open up that bag of worms. They will be the ones to open up that bag of worms. And let's say, like, Sean Hannity has Jeremy Griggs on, and they're talking about what happened, and names get named, people get named in the people at Lucasfilm get named, and all hell will break loose because then it's on Fox News, and Hannity does have a following, so then it gets on the 5. Then Brit Hume brings it up about firing people over bias in the intercultural institutions. Then mom and pop find out, because you already know that if Fox is talking about it, Greg Kelly at Newsmax will talk about it. If Greg Kelly is, OANN will be talking about it. Okay, those are alternative things, fine. But then you'll see CNN and then MSNBC try to steal the narrative, and it's already gone. All right, it's already gone. If it gets to, but it has to go to Fox, because Fox is at least on par with them. Well, I know that. I mean, it's like I said, it's very difficult to fire somebody who works for the government. And I've seen that up close in action. And I've seen a person, I know this story because we had to live it, literally dodging her firer, so to speak, for almost a week. She was here, she was there, and you're not going to call somebody and say you're fired. That's unprofessional. Okay, and in the military, if you do that, you're as bad as that person is. It's like the Sex and the City episode where Carrie's boyfriend, the writer, breaks up with a Post-it note. Okay, you don't do that. That's bullshit. Okay, it's face to face as it should be, but it takes a long time. You got to jump through all kinds of hoops to get it done. And I think, I'm going to say this, I really, really honestly think that woman is hiding. Well, it is, but they end up not firing him. But I have to say that woman is hiding. She's probably at her beach house. She's not taking any calls unless it's Lin-Wen Brennan or one of her other flying monkeys. Pablo calling to complain again. It's really interesting watching this because you know damn well if she walks into a meeting and she sees the Bobs, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and their faces are purple, they're so pissed. Kevin Feige going, she's fucked. She's screwed. She might as well say, I resign right now, because she is going to get ripped up one end and down the other. Because, again, she has not, she'll blame it on us. I mean, that's why they're doing this. That's why they put this out there that, she's getting, packages with kitty litter in it. Literally almost the day after Gina was fired. Okay, first off, it takes a week or 2 weeks to get that shit, to get any letter in the U.S. mail. So that's bullshit. That was a lie. And we all know it's a lie. We all know it's a hoax. But they're setting us up to be the bad guys. I'm telling you this right now. She is prepping her battle space. So she can sit there and say, Disney fell for this, blah, 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 these right-wing, alt-right. And it's like, fuck you, you fucking cunt. And here's the deal. Is Hollywood going to believe her? No. No. Her little flying monkeys will. Because I'm going to tell you this. When she goes, you'll see Pablo gone. You'll see Matt Martin. The story group is gone. Because they won't be allowed to hang on. Okay. Disney, I mean, Pablo has already done so much to get fired for. And he has survived so much. And what I find, again, fascinating is that there's another job. Again, December 9th, there was a job with Pablo's job title up there, hiring for Lucasfilm. What the fuck was that about? Okay? But they're laying the groundwork for them all to go right now. And they know it. Okay, this is desperation. I know it. I feel it in my guts. This is prepping the battlefield. So when she resigns, I would love it if she was fired. And I'll tell you something else. She might just as well get fired. They will call it a resignation, but she'll be fired. And that's the truth. Okay, and we'll all know it. Okay, I am literally on edge, waiting. Say what? What's going on? Well, I'll tell you something. Let me explain. I went on there. I saw one person that I knew posting stuff. Post a fuck you, get her out of here thing on her video. Everybody else, I have never seen them before in my life. They've never come on this channel. I've never seen any of them comment on Midnight's Edge or Geeks and Gamers if and when I go there. Anywhere. Okay. Very, very, very interesting to me. It's very, very telling. It's not the Fandom Menace. You can't tell. There's 6,600 commenters going at her. You can't tell me that they're all white men living in their mama's basement who are racist, bigots, and sexists. You can't tell me that. You can't. Because that's bullshit. And then you go to the other videos and the same shit is going on. Go to the Star Wars channel. Their last video for the High Republic is getting fucking destroyed in the ratio. Okay, they're done. They're done. And I'm going to tell you, they're so, here's the deal. And Tom is right. These people are so out there, so detached from reality. Oh, I'll get to that. I'll tell you what I think might just happen. with him. So detached from reality that they honestly think that Star Wars is doing well. They think that the High Republic is a success. It's not even in the top 600 on Amazon. That they think that the movies were a success, and they weren't. They think that the merch is selling. Ask Hasbro. Hasbro, how did the sequel trilogy merchandise sell? Not well, it would be the answer. At all. They actually think that. So get ready for being bombarded with delusional people. But when you look at the reality, look at the comments. Look at the comments on these videos, the Oscar videos, the Star Wars video. Look at the dislikes ratio. That's the voice of the fans, not the idiots in their bot accounts on Twitter. Not Jason Ward. Not, Star Wars Explained. None of those people. The voice of the fans, the real fans, not even the fandom menace, the real fans are on those videos saying, get her the fuck out of there. I've had people join up Daily Caller just because they're pissed off about what happened to Gina. They don't have Disney Plus. And they're not going to get Disney Plus. I mean, it gets right down to it. Why be such a vindictive pain in the ass, why can't they like what's going on with Mando? Why do they have to attack Gina? Why do they have to attack Rosario? Why is John Favreau a target? And he is the target. They want him gone. Why? Because he's making them look bad. He's making them look like they're failures because they are failures. Think about it. Think about that. Think about those people watching Mandalorian, watching Luke Skywalker in the hallway scene, and the way it was filmed, the fact the guy that was playing him physically, A, resembled Mark back in the day physically, B, it was perfectly choreographed, and it was emotional, okay? It was emotional, and Pablo did it. When he said to Star Wars Theory, fans shouldn't share their emotions, or men shouldn't share their emotions when he was talking about Star Wars Theory. And then he posted it so you could see it publicly on his hidden Twitter account. That was aimed at you and me. Okay, that's when the shit really hit the fan. Because then they knew High Republic was going to crash and burn. And by God, it fucking is. I'll wager in 4 months, 3 months, I'll get it 6, around November, that we will see the High Republic Oh, you're right, PlayStation Elite. You're right. The High Republic will be, hey, Bill, I think you're right. I think the High Republic will be sold for $2 a piece at Ollie's, the discount store, the big discount store, where, strangely enough, all of the sequel trilogy stuff ends up from Walmart and Target. Okay? You walk in, you say Target buyout, and there's a wall of Rays and Poes and Fins and Rose Ticos, and you're like, I went to Boscov's a year ago. a year ago walking around in there, and I went over to the toy section and they had a wall of rose fucking Ticos, 3-inch rose Ticos for $1.95 a piece. And I almost pulled the trigger for Ethan. You know, it's literally it's literally staggering that anybody could think that this stuff is a success. I can't imagine why, and I think really it's been past time for a year for Disney to do something about this shit. Anyway, I have got to run because the dog needs to go to the park. And this will not be fun. You will drag me all over Hell's Half Acre. We're only going to go a short distance because A, they never shovel the sidewalks. And B, if there's too many people around, I'm not going to stay around because he turns into a perfect asshole. And it's hard to control him. Even with his joystick, which is the e-collar thing. But yeah, Mark has been quiet. It's probably a good thing to do either way. But just keep your ears to the ground. You're right, PlayStation. You're right. I did it. Literally, I woke up at 2 a.m, messaged Tom Connors, asked him if it was true. He said, yeah. I said, I'm off to unsubscribe from Disney Plus, and went to, hi, Porky, how you doing? Went to, basically to Cameron, and I said, I can't remember what I said, but I think, yeah, he does know which side of the bread, yeah. And he also knows the fans are what Kennedy wants them to be. Anyway, I gotta go, because His Hairy Highness is asking to go out. So you guys be good. Have a good afternoon, and keep your ears to the ground. It is, let's see, 3 here, 3 to 1 noon on the West Coast. So, this is about the time, a couple of times that we heard big news about Lucasfilm, Wendig being fired, shit like that. So let's see what happens. Anyway, I will see you guys later. See you around the galaxy. Have a good one, and I'll be hanging around, just watching, see what goes on. Take care. Don't get drunk tonight.